Hi, welcome to the Elle Rush Show, where I deliver content intended to inspire, educate, and motivate. Engage with me online at ellerush.com and on social media. Enjoy the show. Today, my guests are Hans and Anya Hippert, fantastic couple and creators and founders of one of my favorite products, Carnivore Crisps, a 100% sustainable, delicious, and shelf-stable meat and salt snack. Hans is an award-winning chef who's worked exclusively with meat for over a decade, and Anya, his wife, is a carnivore and a doctoral student of psychology. They both love helping people with eating disorders and creating a wonderful, clean product. You can always go to carnivorecrisps.com and use Paleo10 for 10% off. Enjoy the show. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
So glad to have you guys on, because when I first tried your product, Carnivore Crisps, and I was actually blown away. And this is a really weird thing to say, because there's plenty of jerky-like dried meat products out there that are tasty, but this is so unique. Can you describe why this is unique? I get a lot of questions from people. They're like, is this like jerky? Is it? I'm like, this is beyond what anyone.
Totally unlike jerky. And it probably comes into the 27, almost 28 years of experience in the meat industry that I've got now. And just being a perfectionist and a good husband, trying to please my wife. So that's how it came to be. And, there was really nothing on the market. So, and Anya has been a carnivore, well, probably for 2.5, 3 years now. And I've been keto, and there was really nothing in that realm of snacking and with the crunch. And so kind of a blend of multiple products that we had, and Carnivore Crisps were born.
So tell me, Anya, what led you to become a carnivore? Usually it's, someone's trying to fix a problem, then they get somewhere, it goes a little bit away, and then they've got to be like, looks like I can only eat meat. So I don't know if that happened to you or if it was just a choice. But how did you get to become carnivore? That's a very extreme, dietary and lifestyle. And there's nothing wrong with it. It's great, but it's just an extreme one most people don't adopt.
Well, it started a while back. I would say like now it's over 10 years. So I had a challenge of eating disorder, and I was going through standard therapy. I was going through nutritional advice, and it looked like nothing worked for me. So it was sort of like, especially with therapy, one step forward, 2 steps backwards, because after a session, I would go to see a nutritionist. And she would suggest, I would have food journal, and she would suggest to follow standard American diet. So it's kind of, I was realizing slowly but surely that something is not working out, because like once I had something with sugar, simple carbs, it just turned into like big rabbit hole for me. So, and, nutritionist, she would suggest, that's okay to have sweets and candies once in a while. Just buy yourself small Halloween-sized candies. Don't buy yourself like big Costco size treats. So that's how led me into researching. So what's going on actually with all of that, nutrition-wise? And I stumbled upon very interesting information, and actually my Russian friends. They advised me to look into Kremlin diet. So that's what they
which would be like our Navy SEAL diet or something like that, like the Kremlin fighting diet. Is that what it was like? AGB diet, great.
So, but pretty much what that was like ketogenic diet, where you just ditch sugar, and you really eat mostly meat, fat, and select vegetables. And if you can also extend to eating some fruit and berries too later on. So, and basically I started doing that, and I immediately almost felt the difference, after maybe short 2-3 weeks, I already felt like more in control.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and I just continued the journey for years and years. So we are married now for 11 years with Hans. And when we first met, I was already eating keto pretty much, with mostly heavy on meat and fat. And myself, I just found out about carnivore diet recently, like Hans said, maybe 2.5 years ago. And I just decided to try it. I eliminated vegetable and fruit, and it was kind of like next level for me.
What were after you'd been on strict carnivore for a while, what were the changes? What were the things, the problems that disappeared that you struggled with?
Well, first of all, I still had, even on keto, I still had mood swings, like hormonal ones, like PMS. What really like astonished me that on carnivore, I didn't have that at all. It was wonderful. Just like, yeah, it was wonderful. And plus,
here. I can attest to that. It was wonderful. It is wonderful.
Yeah, well, but to be completely honest, now once in a while I would add some veggies, here and there. Let's say our son, he loves to cook, and like if he would make something, I would try, I would have it, but it is about like 97% carnivore, and like all our family dinners, they are carnivore.
Yeah,
that's amazing. So, do you eat all meats and fish and all animals?
Yes, I do. I also eat dairy.
Oh, you do? Okay. And what kind of dairy? Yeah. Do you eat full fat, like raw milk, or in what, how can
full fat mostly.
What about cheese?
I do eat cheese too.
Do you stick with unpasteurized? Does it matter to you?
I honestly don't feel much difference. I feel that my metabolism is pretty strong, so I can handle both.
That's great. That's great. Okay. Well, what a beautiful, I'm so glad you found it. I mean, the clients that I've had who've had to go carnivore, it's a life changer. And I mean, some of them, they have like one macadamia nut, one mushroom or one something, and it's like game over. So they have to go back to the drawing board, and thank God that's an opportunity. Your company makes it a lot easier too for snacks. But Hans, let's talk about your experience. You talked about your experience in the meat industry and understanding this. That makes sense to me because your product seems to me like, yep, that sounds about right. This would be for someone who knows what they're doing. What was your experience before you decided to launch this company?
So I actually used to travel a lot. So I used to design and build surveillance systems for casinos. So that was about 15 years ago. I was on the road, and I actually met Anya, and she was the launching pad for us to launch our company because she had the support in me. Like I had traveled a lot. I made decent money, but I was miserable, drinking a lot, on the road constantly, 250 plus days a year. Oh. And I met Anya and told her about my dream of starting a jerky company. And she was totally supportive, and I gave her some products. She absolutely loved it. And so we literally sold everything that we owned, house, car, motorcycles, like anything, anything that I had. And we got our first kitchen and started this journey. We actually had our son on the way, and I didn't want to be a father that was raising him from a hotel room. This is before FaceTime, but still FaceTime is not a substitute for being a real father.
Right.
And so we sold everything and got a little kitchen and started making and perfecting our products and, doing farmers markets. I still got a day job here in Vegas. So I'd work 40 hours a week there, and then like another 60 to 70 at JoJo's, and just getting it off the ground, because literally I didn't get a paycheck for the first like three and a half years, roughly 3.5 years. I was able to quit my day job, which is a beautiful thing. Like that was a real moment for us. So was always
well, I assume though that along the way you weren't totally worried, because it looked like there was some momentum, right?
Yeah, but it was constant challenges. Like a small business is constant challenges. So so many different factors, and you're working your ass off. Everybody thinks that it's so glamorous being an entrepreneur, but
no, it's not.
Get ready for a lot of work. You're going to work harder than ever if you really are into it. And I love what I do, so it wasn't a big thing for me. But working late nights, I have a couch in my office, so in case I needed to sleep there, while I was cooking something, like that's what I had to do. So, but at least I was home. I was going home each night, with my family. And so I had always been making sugar-free per Anya, sugar-free jerkies. So, and then, like I said, the carnivore crisp came as a combination of one of our jerkies, our gaúcho, which is a Brazilian steak jerky, and that I developed, and our Hawaiian jerky, which is like a thin, crispy style. So, so hence that was born, and that was, 3.5, 4 years ago, something like that. So that's the background of it. I'm still in the meat industry. I absolutely love what I do every day. There's constant challenges and problems that you're solving, but our carnivore community is just absolutely wonderful. Like I couldn't ask for a better support system.
There's like such voracious fans. For sure. Like,
amazing.
I convinced one of my friends, I don't know if you sent her some stuff, I think you did. And she was blown away. And everybody that I've been like, here, try a bag. They're like, what the hell? So let's talk about this.
Thank you.
Let's talk about the quality of the ingredients, because this is the most simplest type of, and I don't even want to call it jerky, even, you know what I mean? Because they are crisp. They're crunchy,
not jerky. Yep.
Delicious, crisp. So you've got everything from like lamb, ribeye, beef brisket, chicken, pork. The chicken crisps, everybody who's listening, those can be used as amazing tortilla chip type of substitutes, like great dippers and crunch factor. But tell us the ingredients and tell us what's in it.
So literally super clean. So Redmond salt and our high quality protein. So, grass fed and finished, no antibiotics ever. Beef, born, raised, and harvested in the US. And it's just our process that makes us different, and it's very challenging. Like people ask, like, well, I can make these at home, or why are they, pricey? And but the yield on them is incredibly low. The time that it takes, it's very consuming. But and the level of care that we put in is like literally second to none. Like I love what I do, and I appreciate every order that comes in and every customer, and we want to make it like perfect, so because never get that second chance for the first impression. So but super clean. That's it. It's all
that's
in the
why
technique.
I love it. There's no sugar, there's no oils, there's nothing. And Redmond salt, I love Redmond. I've been using them for years. There's some, if you guys don't know, it's like some of the best salt out there.
It is.
And so that combo is so great. And do you have anything else in the works? I mean, any new products coming out? Like, what are some? Give us some intel if you can.
Yeah, we've got some other proteins that are going to be coming out, but other products too. I can't disclose it right now, but
gotcha.
You'll be one of the first to know. I promise. It'll be me, Anya, myself, and you. We'll let you know and send you out a sample because we're super excited about it. It's constantly evolving. Like that's, we call our kitchen the lab. So late nights in the lab, I'm like the mad scientist creating new flavor profiles and new products and stuff like that. Like I really enjoy creating. It's like the artistic side of me. And so I'm constantly trying to evolve and make our products better and create new things for people to try. Like not necessarily it's going to be a full-time product. So it's going to kind of be like, maybe a seasonal product or something like that. So just to give you little hints, but we're really excited about the future and growing the brand.
Are you still own? I mean, it's still JoJo's Jerky. So there's the other people can go to JoJo. It's JoJos jerky.com and find other products. But then Carnivore Crisp is sort of like a little branch.
Yes, exactly. Yep. So, they can find JoJo's Jerky and Carnivore Crisp has our Carnivore Dog line, our Carnivore Crisp line, 100% sustainable. Every piece of the protein, gets the respect that it deserved and is utilized. So there's zero waste. So I'm super stoked about that too, because for one, I'm a huge animal lover, and you know, we're excited to offer these other products that just kind of fit in line with our goals and our values.
Where do you source your meat?
So, like I said, born, raised, and harvested in the U.S. We use Pittman Farms, so Mary's chicken. So, and then you know, right now we're using Santa Carlota for beef, but all born, raised, harvested, no antibiotics ever, no hormones, just clean. That's the key. You know, the cleanest product, free range, grass fed. Yeah.
I love them because they're so simple and clean, even just like little half a piece to hold you over before you got a dinner in an hour and you don't know what to do, like versus a piece of jerky could be way too much salt and otherwise, you know what I mean? Like real jerky, you know, like old school BS jerky kind of thing.
Yeah.
So that's what I love about it. Cause like a little bit goes a long way if you're in a pinch and kind of need to be held over. And that's why I think it's even great to have around almost as a fat bomb, like a protein fat bomb a little bit sometimes, depending on the piece, cause some of them are more leaner.
Right.
Yeah, man. I just, you know, I've said it before elsewhere, which is over all of these years, there's so many people that have been like, hey, we'd like you to promote our stuff. And I just won't, because if I'm not going to use it regularly or I don't really love it. And you are one of the few that I definitely was like, I need to be an influencer.
I realized that early on, and I was so honored. Honestly, the response of you when you first tried it and our first message, it was amazing. Like that sticks out in my head. Like, wow, like people really like this, you know. It was like, because I'm a super tough critic on myself, and so, you know, your message was amazing. So thank you for that. I'll think about it.
Oh, that's great. Well, let's now that you've gone through some of like those growing pains of getting going, are things smoother now in terms of like being an entrepreneur? Do you feel like you've gotten over a certain hump? I mean, obviously you're going to keep putting out fires as time goes by, but do you feel like that 3 years was like, okay, can you look back and go, if we had known better, maybe we could have done it in 2? No, we had to go through that 3 years. Like, just for the entrepreneurs out there, do you feel like things are steady and smooth at this point? And
it's always challenging because we constantly want to grow. If I'm standing still, I feel like a failure. Like, right. So I'm constantly trying to push myself. I know Anya feels the same way. Like we want to get the brand out to other people and to try it. But it's constantly challenging. If you're standing still and you're comfortable with where you're at, like you can make efficiencies. You know, definitely a lot of efficiencies have come over the years. But I mean, 11 plus years into it, it's still a challenge. And that's, I guess that's something that we both enjoy too, though. It's not like,
you're learning.
Learning and, you know, new ideas and stuff like that. Like it's all about, the big thing is for an entrepreneur, if they want to get into any industry, like just love it, like really love it, do it. And I'm sure they've read it before, but do it like you do it for nothing, because literally you will have to do that. You will have to work for nothing for the first couple of years, unless you're super lucky and you're the 1%. And Well,
that goes the same for writers, you know, I mean, like, especially in Hollywood too, you're writing for free at first. You have to show something for yourself. You have to pitch scripts that are going to be optioned on spec, meaning, you know, they're just going to go, hey, we'll give you $1,000 to be able to pitch this. It may never get made, but you know what I mean? And you're not getting paid the $40,000 for that script at that point. You're doing a lot of stuff for free. If you're not willing to do, you have to love it. I mean, you got to be compelled to do it. So now I know all of your meals are carnivore. Is the whole family pretty carnivore at this point? Is it just Anya, or?
It's mainly Anya. The whole family's keto, but
okay.
Yeah, but we, like, you know.
Well, kids, they still have their treats. We always have fruit at home. Our kids, they are 9 and 10.
Yeah.
So if, let's say, there are parties or birthday and they want regular cake, that's fine. You know, we will buy them a cake.
Yeah.
It's like,
we want them to be kids and enjoy it. Like,
yeah, because I've been on the other end of the stick, you know, where like you turn into basically you develop eating disorder. I don't want those things happen to them either.
No.
Yeah, that's an important thing too, right? If you're adopting something and if the child doesn't need to adopt it for health reasons, like you gotta let them be kids. They're gonna go to someone's house and have a cupcake. I mean, you know, geez,
right?
It's gonna happen.
You're grounded.
Like, and then you got to be that weird kid that, like, sorry, I mean, that's not a place that any 9-year-old wants to be. All right, so we can everybody. L15 is the code for 10% off. Is it Paleo 10? I forget. My gosh, I'm so bad. It's L15. I'm sorry. You know what? I'm going to have my editor fix that. I got to go look really quick. I think it's Paleo 10. Yeah, that's what
I think it is Paleo 10.
Thanks. Yep. Sorry. Okay. I'm going to have the editor fix that. So everyone, I think I have an editor. All right, everyone. Paleo 10 is the code for 10% off carnivore crisps. You can go to carnivorecrisps.com. They also have amazing dog treats, which I have given to several dogs that I always house sit. Mark Sisson's dog still, and I will give them the carnivore treats. They freaking love it. In fact, they're like waiting by the cabinet versus the other treats. I noticed that, by the way. I did. I noticed when I was there, they were like hanging out, kind of being like, hey, where they weren't that way with the other dumb store-bought treats they had in there.
No, I warned everybody. I was like, just so you know, like after you buy these, they're not going to want anything else, and they'll tell you. So like we've got a lot of customers that just put it on subscribe, auto ship, and they like if we're out of stock or something, it's like the end of the world. Like it's crazy. But
and you know what I do? I like with those, because you have the little mini burgers for the dogs and kind of similar. You might look at the package when you get it and go, oh, there's not a lot in here. No. You cut, you don't necessarily have to give a whole bacon strip to the dog. You can cut it up into little pieces, tear off pieces and bites, but at least they're getting super carnivore, straight up what they're meant to eat.
Yes. Amen to that.
So yeah, everyone go to carnivorecrisp.com, or you can also visit my website and click the discounts page and just click directly from there. Thank you so much for creating this product. Obviously, there's so many more carnivores in the world. Half of them are my friends. And of course, most of them. Yes. And, this is a needed thing, but even for just meat eaters like me who aren't carnivore. So I love what you're doing, and I love all of your products. And is there anything else you'd like to leave with our audience or share about your experience before we go?
Well, we just love the support, and thank you so much for being there since day one. And please come out and visit. We're in Vegas. So
next time I'm in Vegas, I'll hit you up. Yeah,
please do. And just have them sign up for the list. We'll post any new products that we're coming out with, or specials. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So they can just go to carnivorecrisps.com, sign up there. And then, we actually, I speak to them, once every 2 weeks, every 3 weeks. I'll shoot them a personal email on what's going on in our life and the business. And I'm excited.
Awesome. Thanks so much, guys. And for everyone else, we'll see you next time.
Hey listeners, over the years, a ton of companies have approached me to collaborate, but I will only promote companies whose products I believe in and that I actually use and consume on a regular basis. So let me tell you about some of my favorite companies that I can offer you discounts for. Rep Provisions, an amazing company doing incredible things for our planet, topsoil, and animals with regenerative agriculture, and it's my #1 source for quality pasture-raised meat and chicken. Visit repprovisions.com and use code L15 for 15% off. I'm also obsessed with a company called Carnivore Crisps. They make a lean, all-natural, and delicious alternative to conventional snacking, made with just real meat and real salt. Totally addictive, and my favorite ones are the beef brisket and the ribeye. Visit carnivorecrisps.com and use code PALEO10 for 10% off. I also love and regularly use Paleo Valley products. They make amazing supplements and delicious paleo products. I use the superfood greens powder, grass-fed beef sticks, the organ complex, and their bone broth bars. I love the lemon and apple. I also use their essential C complex and more. Visit paleovalley.com/promos/LRUS for 15% off. I also love Primal Kitchen. They make delicious paleo-approved, gluten-free, grain-free, soy-free, and no refined sugar products, and I use them daily, from their collagen powders and sauces and marinades to their avocado and olive oil. So good, so healthy. Visit primalkitchen.com and use code L10 for 10% off. I also love paleo powder and use it almost on everything I cook. They make incredible seasoning blends, and they also have these incredible grain-free coatings that feel just like crispy breadings that you would have had prior to knowing that there's another way. So visit paleopowder.com and use code L15 for 15% off.